Outside of LeBron James, who's back to being himself, triple-double for LeBron, 43 minutes played, 39 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Shot 14 for 25 from the field, 6 for 11 from 3. Sounds good? Is that good? That's good. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 15 for 27. Had 6 turnovers, but still had a good game. Is that good? Yeah, it is. So your 2 best players gave you a total of 78 points. The highest scorer after that is 14 points from a rookie. Max Christie was supposed to be a 3-and-D guy. 6 personal fouls, -7 in the plus-minus. Horrible. How about Cam Reddish? He's supposed to be a defensive stopper too, right? Took 1 shot the whole game. Played 21 minutes. He was -8. Oh, lovely.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
We are back. Welcome to the All Even podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. Episode, what is this, 224? I don't really talk about the episodes because we just go about our business, man. We head down, pedal to the metal, and we just grind. But 224, man, that's a lot of episodes. Catch me on Instagram and X at All Even Podcast. You can catch me on Blue Sky as well at All Even Podcast. I'm on there now. I will be defecting from X very soon. You can catch me on TikTok for as long as it's still here at All Even Media. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. And trust me, go to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. It's going to be somewhere on the screen. Like, share, and comment. Tell the friend, tell that friend, and tell another friend. Tell that friend, and tell that girl, and tell her friends to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that button. Watch the show. We are approaching 11K. It's very, 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 very close. Subscribe. They always say call to actions. That's my call to action. Subscribe. Silent Assassin, what's up?
Not much.
It's been a very eventful week for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
I call it liberation, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. New lease on life. I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Listen, it was bound to happen, but big things are ahead for you as well as the All Even podcast. A lot to get into, though. Thursday night football. We're going to discuss that. A very good game between the Lions and the Packers. Randy Moss. I want to give my flowers out to Randy Moss. We're going to discuss him as well. Bill Belichick doesn't look like he wants to come back to the NFL. He might be very, very interested in another job. My Lakers are terrible. And I'm tired of being nice about it. I've been very patient. I've been very understanding. But now it's time to be me. We're going to discuss that. Woj dropped probably the biggest Woj bomb of his career a couple of days ago. We're going to discuss that. My irrelevant news of the week. You got Soto watch. What the hell is this golden at-bat rule? And even if it doesn't come into fruition, I just have a lot to say about the rule and the people that are actually agreeing with it. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
I was going to talk about the Jets, but no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that at all. Before I get into that, TikTok. It's finally looked like it's going to be gone. What was it? January, whatever date that was, 2025. So many people are going to be, I don't know, like out of a job. How's that going to work? Like, I understand that they're trying to, have some type of continue this trade war with China, whatever it is. But, man, it's going to affect a lot of Americans that have their entire careers on TikTok. So how's that gonna work?
Yeah, like I was saying, like I don't know if I believe it's gonna happen because it's been pushed. Like every year, I feel like I hear that's TikTok's going down.
That's true.
I just feel like it makes Americans too much money to like how like where are all these millions of people just gonna go? and have,
OnlyFans.
Like, maybe I guess, but like everyone's gonna like do you want to just be unemployed? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see it benefiting us. You know, if they were worried about it or didn't want to deal with China in the first place, they shouldn't have had this app be number one. They should have made their own.
Yeah,
from the jump.
somebody should have came around and had something that was competing by this time, and then they can be able to kind of just transition. But I don't know, man. Maybe Instagram will kind of take that responsibility and just advance their platform. They're already making steps, so we'll see what happens. You saw Wicked, and I heard it was very good. The biggest part for me is that you had documented that you saw it, and some people didn't realize that it was a musical, and was just like, you saw it on Broadway. What did you think was gonna be different?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I also saw like a male like news anchor too who said it was like too much music in it. I'm like, it's a musical. Like, what do you expect?
What is happening? What is happening with people? What is happening? They had some MAGA personality say that, yeah, it was highly offensive that the what was it, White Queen? What's her name?
Glenda.
Yeah, Glenda. She was being played by Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande is clearly Hispanic. Clearly Hispanic. No, she's not. There's nothing Hispanic about that girl. She's Italian. That's what she is.
Mm-hmm.
What world have we stepped in? I want the aliens to reclaim this place. Please do it soon. It's gone to hell. People are dumb.
Yes, very.
Like this is bad. And like the thing is, it's not even the fact that people are stupid and they're apologizing for their stupidity and saying, hey, listen, I apologize, I misspoke. People are standing on the error. I meant what I said. Yeah, she's right. What? No, she's not. What is happening? Like being normal is under siege. Being normal is under siege now. You got people that are like sympathizing with the guy that shot the CEO.
That's crazy.
Like, listen, I understand that people are struggling out there and people have dealt with a lot, but to see the comments that I'm seeing is like, bruh, this is a person's life that, it's just, for me, listen, I understand it, but man, the outright justification and the celebration that some people are having, I just don't really understand. It's a little uncomfortable for me. It is. I get it. But I can't go that far. I just can't. I saw something else that I wasn't going to talk about, but I will. What the hell is going on with that rapper girl? What's her name? That had the curly fro.
Ice Spice?
Ice Spice. Yo, she lost like 90 pounds. What? She don't look the same no more.
No.
Like, listen, I have a friend who he's very into the new hip hop and he listens to everything. And he came to me the other day. He was like, bro, you seen Ice Spice? I said, no, I don't. Look out for her. What's going on? He's like, I don't know what happened to her, but I'm off it. I'm just like, why? She not making no music that you like? He's like, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with the music, man. He's like, I can't look at her the same no more. She don't have the same assets that she used to. I'm just like, Well, what do you mean? He's like, oh, bro, she lost too much weight. She looked like she don't eat no more. And I'm like, I don't know. Then I saw pictures right just now on I think it was Shade Room. I was like, yeah. I mean, I get that you want to be healthy, but she looked like she needed to eat a little bit, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something about being too fit, I guess. For, it's just, I don't know. Looks weird.
Yeah.
Like she rose to fame because of things that she did in her videos, and people are looking for those. And if they can't get those, they're going to turn it off. This is not the same person. Who is this? Yeah. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, I don't want to be misogynistic, but hey, certain people liked her for certain things, and now she doesn't look that way, and now they're turning it off. That's just the way it is.
It's like something similar happened with Lizzo, because she was like, "Oh, like I love being a bigger woman, I'm a big artist," and then she allegedly, took some Ozempic, and now is very
losing weight like Al Roker.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that love the big Lizzo, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chubby chasers. They didn't want her to change. I like the roles, somebody said, right? I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're looking at how I'm off it now. You go give me another big one. Like it's everybody has their thing. And you listen, she chose health over being big. I get it. I understand. But she's going to alienate a very big crowd, a very big population of her fan base that's like, those crazy cats upstairs. Very big fan base, a part of her fan base that like, listen, I like those roles, every single one of them. You know what I mean? The flaps, the roll, whatever it is. Whatever it is, to each his own. Everybody has their own kink. After the break, I'm going to discuss Thursday Night Football briefly because I have other things to talk about. There's no big stories in the NFL. We have to cover this. We have to, but briefly after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, my man get the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this yo something. All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now you go. That's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in
All
the
Even
camera?
podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. What is it, G? Oh. Shout out, G.
Oh. He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. Thursday Night Football. We had the Lions and Packers. Lions win 34-31. Dan Campbell goes for it on fourth down. Definitely a big gamble, but it pays off. They get into field goal position. They kick the field goal. They win the game. And you know that there's certain times in your season where you got to try some things because you feel that if you're able to pull this off, you can now be able to get position and put yourself in good standing or good position to be able to have a top seed or home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And the Lions are right here. They're 11-1. They're right there. This is a team that's been trending upward for the last few years, and they've really, really done a great job. I mean, Jared Goff has thrown 70 touchdowns. And they've had a record of 31-8. I think it's 32-8 now over the last 40 games. And that's because they found something. They were struggling, couldn't really figure it together, but they were slowly putting the pieces together. And now they're one of the best teams in football. But let's not sleep on those Packers either. Those Packers are phenomenal. Jordan Love, that kid, I had no idea that he was going to be this good, but the Packers seem to be able to know how to produce great quarterbacks. They just do. No matter who it is, If the guy has some talent, they always have a guy that can be able to work hard and study and do his thing. But he's just phenomenal, man. Packers are a young team. They're on their way still, but they have a ways to go. When you're talking about the upper echelon and the contenders in the NFL, the Lions are right up there. I think the Lions are the team to beat no matter what conference you're looking at, whether it be NFC or AFC. I like the Ravens, but they have some issues. I like the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs are a bit overrated. I like the Steelers. They look good, but everything runs through the Lions. Everything runs through Detroit. So shouts to Dan Campbell and those boys for getting it done. Just talking about, we can kind of segue into the Steelers. What can you say about Mike Tomlin that hasn't already been said? This man's a legend. I mean, he's never had a losing season ever. You understand how hard that is to do in this day and age when you have new parts, you have new coaching staffs, you have situations, injuries. This man has dragged more dead bodies to the playoffs than anybody I've ever seen. And he doesn't get the flowers. I remember a few years ago, you had Steelers fans calling for him to get fired. And I'm like, yo, do y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about? Like, this dude he's him. Like, there's not a lot of guys that are this special at the head coaching position. You had a Bill Belichick, but he had a Brady. You had, other good head coaches that had great quarterbacks that were attached to them. Mike Tomlin had Ben Roethlisberger for a while, but now Ben's gone. Had to figure out other guys that stepped in. This guy, this dead body, this zombie. He just finds people off the street and still continues to succeed. That's a great coach with a great system. So shouts to Mike Tomlin. I had to put that out there. Moving on. Randy Moss is taking a leave of absence away from his analyst duties at the NFL. What was it, for ESPN? We don't know exactly what the situation is with him, but he's, he kind of addressed it, saying that if you see me with glasses on, I'm going through something internally, my family, and everybody's been super supportive and prayers up and all that stuff. And hopefully it's nothing that he can't get over, but what a true patriot and legend, because this is a guy that has gone through so many different things in his life. He's gone through being the great receiver. He's gone through some adversity in his career. He's gone through people dragging his name. He's had a resurgence and a renaissance where he's a mentor and an advisor and things of that nature. And now, he's having some type of health issue, and I just hope that everything is works out in his favor. But man, he's one of the most interesting, if not dynamic, athletes we've seen come on the stage in the last 30 years. Wide receivers nowadays, they idolize a guy like Randy Moss. They want to put it together like Randy Moss. So he still has a lot to offer, whether it be as a mentor, whether it be as an analyst. I love watching him. I love listening to him really break the game down at this point. So hopefully he can be able to come back and be as strong as ever. But I'm wearing those shades with you, my man. So I wear it for different reasons, though. I wear it because I just like to piss people off. You wear it because, you got to do what you got to do. So shouts to you. Bill Belichick has he has a very unique situation that's going on. He's going on interviews for the NFL, whatever vacancies are out there. He's interested in the Jaguars job. That's not available yet, but it could be. He's interested. There's been links to him with the Cowboys. There's been links with him with other teams, but he's had several conversations with the UNC football team. in college. When I saw the report, I said, Bill Belichick in college. How would that work? It would work. A guy like that, disciplined, hard-nosed, has a system. You want to be able to have a factory and a system for players to be able to continue to produce and know what they're supposed to do, be consistent at the college level. That's what Alabama was for 20-something years with Nick Saban. It was a system. You can plug and play. Bill Belichick can be able to give you that. And on top of that, he's going to bring his PYT there as well. Why not? Why not? He's had several conversations now with North Carolina. He met with them in Manhattan. There's rumor out there that he wants to bring his son along, that his son is going to be kind of like the coach in waiting after he decides to step down. Yeah, if you're Bill Belichick, get all the perks you can. Because all you got to say in negotiation, listen, Robert Kraft let me pick the groceries, and you saw what happened there. So that's my selling point. I can be able to do what I want. Just give me the opportunity to be able to build this thing my way. Robert Kraft let me do it, and we won. So you can't tell me that you're not going to negotiate that. So yeah, I can see that happening because North Carolina is a program that is on the, they've had some success over the last few years, and they've been up and down. They've had some talent, but if you go get a guy like Bill Belichick, that would be interesting to see. That would. It'd be out of left field, but it would probably be a change that's kind of welcoming for him, where you're dealing with student athletes, but you're dealing with professionals. They're making money. They have NIL deals. They have personalities. They have egos to stroke and all this stuff. Bill Belichick can be able to do that. He can bring the Patriot way to North Carolina. So I'm curious to see it. I don't think it'll be bad, but we'll see. I want him on the Dallas Cowboys, but it ain't going to happen. We know this because we've heard rumors of the Cowboys supporting Mike McCarthy. I've already put my mandate out there. They keep him, I'm out. I don't care. People have hit me up and says, "Oh, well, good riddance. You're not a real fan." I don't need to be a real fan. I've supported the Cowboys my whole life. I've been a dual fan my whole life. I don't need to pick one fan base, one team. I can support many. I don't care. I ain't got no ties. I go right back to the Jets. I will. They got my guy Aaron Rodgers. Why not? For as long as he's there, I can go there. I don't care. But for me to support Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, I can't do that. I can't do that long term. I just, it's hard. Hard. Moving on to my irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Every week I go ahead and I select certain stories that are interesting. And what have I found? Well, we'll go ahead and discuss it. Let's see. A Colombian hitwoman known as the Doll has reportedly been arrested for several murders, including her ex-boyfriend. My goodness. Now, if you see the look that she gave the camera, very scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. She looks, this is like one of those The Grudge scary movies or Exorcist. She looks very scary, but there's another side to this where I can understand how a man can be duped by said woman. If she's a Scorpion woman, she's a devil, she's a looker. I can see how she could be able to dupe a particular man and say, "Hey, I got this situation, or we go on this date," and be like, "You know what? Yeah, and then she smokes him. I can see it. This is how they get you. I've seen situations where guys meet a girl and the girl fakes like she's interested and says, "Hey, let's go back to the hotel and figure it out and have a good time." And the guy is so, "Oh my goodness, yeah. Gets to the hotel And there's dudes waiting in there to jump his ass and take his money. We've seen it. She took it to another level. But she's scary looking as hell. But pretty at the same time. That's weird.
I actually saw it was trending, Aubrey Plaza.
Yes.
So people were saying like this should be made into a movie and should be the perfect.
Yo,
she looks exactly like
that's facts.
like her in
I
that
see
picture.
it. I do see that. Her name is Karen Julieth Ojeda Rodriguez. My goodness. Known to police by alias La Muñeca. That's scary as hell. I ain't gonna lie. That's a movie right there. Just name it La Muñeca. That's hard. Was apprehended for her alleged involvement in several high-profile murders in municipalities of Bahrain. I can't say that. I'm gonna chop that name up. It's crazy. Even like now, the people, and this is nothing to laugh at, but it's like, all right, when a significant other goes missing. I've watched enough crime docs to know that the person of interest should always be the person that you were with.
Mm-hmm.
Spent all my time with you. All of a sudden, you're not going to know where the hell Juan is?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he just got up and left one day. Got up and left, so he has a job, got a nice car, he got his PS5 there. All this stuff's untouched.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me this man just walked away from his PS5? It's criminal activity. If you see me go missing, Silent Assassin, and the PS5 and the Xbox is still here, something nefarious went down. Okay? That's it. You know that those are things and my sneakers. Mm-hmm. If those are gone, they be like, all right, cool. Maybe he just picked up and left. But if they still here, wait a second. He left his what? His Concords are still here? Nah. Call the police. Call them something's up. That's just it. Like, come on now. It's just, but she looks scary and nice at the same time. I understand it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get how she would be a seductress. I see it. It's crazy.
Yeah, got like all like the hair in her eyes, like you said, like The Grudge, like
yeah.
Example.
Some people are into that, right? Uh-huh. Some people are into that type of crazy. Like, oh my goodness, she's very intimidating. I like that. Like some men are like that. You got some weird people out there, right? I don't understand. Like, and this is completely off topic, but you have like some rich people that will pay a dominatrix to say, hey, like, I'm used to bossing people around all day and being in this position of power. I will pay you to kick me in the nuts for the next 2 hours. That's weird. Uh-huh. So for people that have that type of kink, I can see how even if she's a murderer, somebody's gonna be like, you know what, she look kind of good. I mean, maybe she won't kill me. No, this is who she is. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I understand it, but I don't understand it. And she's 23. She's not even like old. My goodness. So scary. So scary. Chipotle raises menu prices by 2%. Of course. According to reports, Chipotle announced a 2% nationwide price hike, citing rising costs for beef, dairy, and avocados. It's the first increase in over a year aimed at offsetting inflation. So, I mean, obviously, we're still in the inflation bubble. It's starting to go down, but does this have anything to do with, should I say, the expectation of a tariff? Could be. But you can't tell that to some people. What's a tariff? Aren't they supposed to pay it? Yes, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. You keep believing that somebody else is supposed to fit the bill. Yeah, about that. I like Chipotle, but you know what I think Chipotle is, and obviously they're owned by the same place. All it is just Mexican McDonald's, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm just sorry. It's what it is. A lot of people like Chipotle. They do. for one, I feel that I don't feel too good when I eat it.
I was gonna say the opposite. I feel like I feel healthy after I eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, their
I don't know.
protein bowl is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go to like a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a nice burrito spot. Like a
Yeah.
burrito spot, yeah.
Give me a taco salad. Now, look, if Chipotle gets a taco salad, now you got me. Now you got me. But they ain't got that yet, so I'm not too sold on them the way I should be. Moving on. Did you hear about the graduate assistant that unretired and threw 7 touchdowns in college?
No, I didn't see that.
It's crazy. So he unretires, starts at quarterback on his senior day, and sets a school record for passing touchdowns. Like, how bad do you have to be on the other side to allow somebody to come off the street and throw 7 touchdowns? They scored. They won the game 62-0. That's nuts. It's crazy. You know, if I was an NFL team, I'd give them a look. Oh, you know what? You can come off the street and do that. I don't even care what the competition is. The fact that you could be able to be ready, no matter what it is, that's a trait that I like. You know what I mean? You could be able to win somebody's backup or third string quarterback at that situation. I like that. Because in any situation, you can be able to just get in there and improve and show it. So that is my. Oh, you know what? No. Before that, here's a very interesting, irrelevant news. Paul George this season has played 10 games. Do you know how many podcasts he's posted? 16. Yet his salary is close to $50 million a year. This podcast athlete thing has gone crazy. And I understand it. You want to be in the media space and have your way, cool. But when you play 10 games, you got more podcast uploads than you have games under your belt. That's nasty work. That's crazy. I don't feel sorry for them because they're the Sixers. I damn sure don't feel sorry for Paul George because he's rich. I'm not going to feel sorry for you, but the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers fans have to suffer, that sucks. Because they thought that they were getting this superstar player who's going to help them get to the playoffs, and they have one of the worst records in basketball right now. So, do I feel sorry for them? No, but the fact that you have more podcast uploads than you actually have games played, that's a dubious record to have. So that's my irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the... I mean, yeah, they stink.
Woj. You know how I feel about Adrian Wojanarowski, right? Love lost with him. I think that when he was an NBA insider, he went into business for himself. Now, I don't need to get into details about that, but this is beyond that. Woj, like I said, dropped his biggest Woj bomb of his life, stated that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer and, was in good spirits, positive attitude, and thoughts and prayers go out to him, his family, about what they're about to embark on. You never want to see anybody go through that. So everything aside, all the issues in regards to sports aside, this is a humanitarian issue. This is something that we should be able to side with him and support him, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. He just accepted a very big job at St. Bonaventure. He's the GM for them, so hopefully he can be able to continue in his role while being able to have treatment or have it zapped out or whatever they're gonna do. So we're looking forward to seeing what the updates are with Woj. But shouts to him and hope that everything does work out, so I can go back to just criticizing you as as a former NBA insider. I don't want to take shots at somebody who's actually, really going through it and going to be battling for their lives. So shouts to Woj. I think I'm going to wait after the break to really unleash how I want to. My Lakers are a disaster. And this has been something that's been brewing for a very, very long time. I'm not shocked that we're seeing them erode in front of us. But I'm just upset that it continues to happen without any change. That is unacceptable. After the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
Welcome back, y'all. 2-7. You might be wondering what those numbers are. It's a record. It's not a good one, obviously. In the last 9 games, the Lakers are 2-7. So since they were 10-4 and flying high, playing better defensively, looking good offensively, you had Dalton Connect playing well, LeBron James was on fire, Anthony Davis was an MVP candidate. 2-7. They're one of the worst defensive teams in basketball. They have probably their bottom 3 in defensive rating. They can't rebound because they don't have size on the team. They don't have point guard play, so they don't have much perimeter defense. Jared Vanderbilt has not played basketball in probably close to 11 months. Christian Wood is still nursing his knee injury that he had surgery on in the offseason. You have Cam Reddish, who can't fucking score for his life. You have Gabe Vincent, who can't score to save his fucking life. You have D'Lo, nobody wants. Rui Hachimura, you might as well send him back. They have big problems, and JJ Redick, no matter what scheme he has, no matter what type of motivation he's trying to put out there for his team, losing by 41 points to the Miami Heat a couple of days ago, allowing Tyler Hero to have 7 threes in a quarter, to now losing tonight to a very hot Atlanta Hawks team. They've won 6 in a row. It's a league high right now. So they're not a bum team that they lost to, but to lose in the fashion that they lost, where Trae Young gets the ball at the top of the key, it's a staggered screen, and now people are scrambling to know where he is. It's Trae Young. You guard him behind the stupid 3-point line and force him into a 2-point shot. If he hits a 2-point shot, he hits a 2-point shot. But to give him a 3 that he wants, that doesn't make fucking sense. And that's because we don't have the perimeter players. Max Christie stinks. D'Lo stinks. Gabe Vincent stinks. Let me give you a stat tonight that's going to make every Laker fan sick to their stomach. Oh, I'm going to pull it up. Give me a second. Because I seen this and I just laughed. It's funny to me. Because it's not the first time I've seen a stat like this. But it continues to happen. So let's go ahead and go look up this. The Hawks, and let's go ahead and compile this. The Hawks scored, that's 65 points off the bench. So 65 out of their 134 points came off their bench, right? DeAndre Hunter, Bogdanovich Hunter had 26, Bogdanovich had 20, Okongwu had 15 and 6. Yeah, Krejci had 4, 7, and 3. So they got guys, their big guys scored off the bench. Would you like to know how much points the Lakers scored off their bench? They scored a total of 17 points. Do the math. You have one team that gets balanced scoring from their star player who had 30 points and 20 assists, But now you have your bench guys that are coming in and giving work to. While the Lakers have no one. They have no talent on this team. Outside of LeBron James, who's back to being himself, triple-double for LeBron, 43 minutes played, 39 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Shot 14 for 25 from the field, 6 for 11 from 3. Sounds good? Is that good? That's good. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 15 for 27. Had 6 turnovers, but still had a good game. Is that good? Yeah, it is. So your 2 best players gave you a total of 78 points. That's 78 or 77? Not an 8? Yeah, 77. 77 points out of the 132. The highest scorer after that is 14 points from a fucking rookie. Dalton Knecht is the 3rd leading scorer on this team, while you have guys like Gabe Vincent who can't give you nothing. You got Rui Hachimura that played 40 minutes and gave you 12 points. Had a plus-minus of 5. That ain't bad. Well, let's go to the bench. Max Christie, who's supposed to be a 3-and-D guy. 6 personal fouls. -7 in the plus-minus. Horrible. How about Cam Reddish? He's supposed to be a defensive stopper too, right? Took 1 shot the whole fucking game. Played 21 minutes. He was -8. Oh, lovely. How about D'Angelo Russell that nobody wants? No one wants. There's no team in the league that wants D'Angelo Russell, including us. 8 points. 3 for 9 from the field. -4 plus-minus. And let's say the Andre Traore, he's a rookie, had a -7. You get no production from your bench and you expect this team to be good. It's the same fucking problems they had last year. After they won the NBA Cup, the team went into the tank. They lost like 12 out of the last 16 games and put themselves in a bad position to have playoff seeding. They're doing the same thing again. And what is the consistent problem? Is that it's the same fucking roster. That's why. So when you have Rob Pelinka gaslighting us and say, yeah, we got 2 draft picks we can be able to use in the summertime. And then he comes back and tells you, oh, well, according to the new CBA, it's very difficult to make trades nowadays. We got to try to figure it out. While everybody out there is fucking making trades. The Knicks made 2 fucking trades in the offseason. I don't see it being very difficult for them. You have to find ways and have people that can be able to be creative enough to work the new cap structure and work the new tier structure and figure things out. We have a GM that lies. So it's no shock to me that they're struggling. It doesn't matter who they have at head coach. I like JJ Redick. I think JJ is going to be a good coach for the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think he's the right guy for the job. But when you have terrible pieces, it doesn't matter what schemes you have. You can draw up the greatest scheme ever. If you don't have the players to execute that scheme, it means nothing. This is the worst bench in the NBA. Not just the Western Conference, not just in the... This is the worst bench in the league. And yet you have a GM or president of basketball operations that does nothing. Everybody around the league knows the Lakers need a trade, which means that guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to pay more now because they all know that we're fucking desperate. It's upsetting to see a guy like LeBron James get criticized. I've seen people start celebrating. Wash King. He's 40. You wait now to see him decline because he's having a couple bad games? To start coming out of your mama's basement and start celebrating? Lakers ain't good right now. We understand that. But it's not LeBron's fault. It's not AD's fault. It's not Dalton Knecht's fault. It's not even JJ Redick's fault. It's the guy that's picking the groceries and made these decisions to not make any moves. His biggest moves in the offseason was signing Max Christie to a deal that no other team would sign him to. You gave him more money than anybody would give him. This team needs to be broken down and rebuilt. If you want to trade Vanderbilt, trade him. Send Rui somewhere. Just cut D'Lo. Cut Gabe Vincent. Just eat the money. Because you ain't going to get none for him. Figure out a way to be able to maneuver this team and get some pieces in here. You don't have much time left with LeBron. And if you don't have that much time left with LeBron, you know that you don't have much time left with Anthony Davis. You need to do something now to help this team now. Go get yourself a Zach LaVine. Go get yourself somebody else. Go get yourself a player that you can be able to rely on now. But this team ain't it. This team is going to lose and continue to lose games because they know that they are bad. And when you start to have your role players not believing in themselves and starting to get the yips in regards to their confidence, this is going to happen every night. It doesn't matter if Phil Jackson walks through the fucking door. They don't have the players. Simple. Moving on to something that I let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Juan Soto watch. This has gone in so many different ways that as a Mets fan, I don't even know what to think. I want a solution already. I want to see him go somewhere. Very confident that he's going to sign with the Mets. But should we believe all the hype that's out there, Silent Assassin? We've heard the Red Sox. We've heard the Blue Jays are a dark horse to offer him the most money. We've heard the Yankees are going to go up there and offer him $700 million because they're the incumbent and they're very, very confident that he's going to come back. You got the Dodgers out there looming with their deferred bullshit. What do you believe? As a Mets fan, what do you believe?
It's still from day one. I always thought it was going to be between Mets and Yankees. I still think that the Mets are going to be the one just because of money-wise. I don't think that the Yankees are going to give him the top dollar because we have Steve Cohen. Even if he truly wants to stay, I think Juan Soto is going to go for the money. So, all like the concerns with the Red Sox that came out like the last week or two.
With the Mick?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned or worried about that. I never really was, but we'll see. But we'll see him potentially sign within the next couple days. So
yeah,
hopefully it'll come to an end.
This dude, the Mick, is so crazy because I obviously I'm not following the guy, but there's been such a influx of Juan Soto madness on social media that if you just mention his name, people come flocking like roaches or ants or whatever you want to call it, right? This guy is such a fucking charlatan that you have to call it out. He has stood on a lie, and he said that it's not hard to figure out things or find out information or get information. I'm sorry. So you are more locked in than Jeff Passan. You are more locked in than Ken Rosenthal. You're more locked in than all of these other Major League Baseball insiders. It's not hard to get information. Who the fuck is this guy? And the fact that he refuses to take ownership for this, he continues to stand on the bullshit. Oh, the Red Sox, they got a deal in place. The stockholders are just waiting for another move. Really? Really? So if that were the case, why is John Henry begging for a last-ditch meeting with Juan Soto? It's just what would just pop in circumstance. If you had a deal in place and everything was fine, wouldn't you keep quiet?
I don't want to spread any more dollars out there. I want to keep it.
Why would I say anything? Why would I leak anything out there? Why would I allow Scott Boras to leak anything out there? You should see that his impressions for his podcast have gone up like 500%. And people, and we've said this before for different reasons and different situations, is that we are the dumbest country on planet Earth. Is that people, because they want to believe in something so bad, they may know that this person is full of shit, but because it makes them feel good to have hope, they will go ahead and follow a liar and a fraud. Even if Juan Soto decides to sign with the Red Sox, it's not because of the fucking Mick. And he's not going to get any apologies from me. He's one of those people that shoots for the moon. And if it happens to happen that way, then he can be able to ride his 15 fucking minutes of fame. If it doesn't happen, then it's just like any other conspiracy theorists out there. They just jump to the next thing. And his credibility that he never had is shot. He doesn't give a shit. Didn't have any credibility before this. So what does it matter if he doesn't have any after? Right? It's about taking this risk that he may sign just because you got the fact that the Bruins head coach got fired, okay? Anybody could have called that. It's upsetting that so many people want to believe in a lie that they'll go ahead and fill this guy's social media platform with likes and views and all this shit. It's a grifter. But what if it were true? What if the Red Sox are the ones to win the Juan Soto sweepstakes? How would you feel as a Met fan? Would that bother you that he chose the Red Sox?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it would hurt because I just been, even when he was traded to the Yankees, I'm like, oh, next year he's gonna be on our side. So it definitely, I don't know. I've been dreaming of it for a while, so I would feel some type of way. But
I hear you. I wouldn't be mad if he chose the Boston Red Sox because, in a way, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't got no beef with Boston. We got no smoke with Boston. We good with the Red Sox. But the fact that Juan Soto would be a Boston Red Sox and have to torment those Yankees every year for 16 plus games, I'd love it. I would. I really would. You have some Yankee fans out there right now that they would rather him end up in Boston than the Mets. That's how paranoid they are. It doesn't matter how much money you guys get. You guys are still going to be second rate. Okay. We'll see. So that's the Red Sox. Do the Blue Jays have a chance? I don't think so. I think the Blue Jays are only in it to drive the price up because you have a desperate owner that has a lot of money to spend, but he won't spend it on the players that he should be spending it on, which is Vladdy and Bo Bichette. So I don't think that they have a chance. Dodgers, I'll never say that they don't have a chance because what they've created is just, it's ridiculous. The fact that they can be able to kick $1 billion down the road is nasty work. And it's amazing how that can be able to continue to play itself out. Yankees. Yankees are a threat. I think Juan Soto enjoyed his time playing in New York for the Yankees. I think he enjoyed being a Yankee. I think he enjoyed the perks of being a Yankee. I think he enjoyed the stage. But my biggest issue with the Yankees is that you have an owner that him and his GM think that they know more than anybody. That they believe that just because it's the Yankee lineage that people will just kowtow and accept the history and go that direction. I don't necessarily believe that's a fact. I think they're really going to have to sell him on consistency and what are they going to do to build this team up. They have a lot of holes to fill. We've seen what the Yankees look like all year when it was just Soto and Judge hitting shots. What are they going to do after that? You sign Soto. What's the next move? I haven't heard anything from the Yankees in regards to that. I haven't heard any fans. What's the next move? Who's on the radar? Who are you trying to get? Corbin Burns? You trying to get Max Fried? It's going to cost you. Cost you a lot. So if you're complaining about giving Juan Soto the money, at that point, if you re-sign a Juan Soto, you might as well go all the way in just like you did in 2009. And that's the last time that you guys actually won the World Series. Oh, makes sense. The last time that you spent like maniacs, you won the World Series. You would think that a person like Hal Steinbrenner will know that. And he likes to flaunt, oh, well, we make the most revenue in baseball. Yeah, okay. Show me. Don't be cheap. Put your money where your mouth is. If you make the most revenue in baseball every year, then what does it matter giving Juan Soto $50 million a year? What does it matter giving him the highest paid or the richest contract in North American history? What does it matter? Don't sell your fans on something that you are telling them you got all this money. No, show them. There should not be a hard line in the sand for a generational player. That's where I think Steve Cohen's at. That's why I believe that he'll be a Met. Not even because I'm a fan. Even if I wasn't a Mets fan, I would still believe that Steve Cohen would get him because I put myself in those shoes. If I'm a billionaire 20 times over, and I can be able to afford a player that's generational, that's a great, he might have his defensive, lapses and liabilities and all that stuff, but that bat is something special. The flair for the dramatic, something special. The marketing ability, something special. The fact that kids idolize this guy. The fact that he's 26 years old and that you'll never probably see a shooting star like him at that age in free agency, probably in the next, it's going to be a while. Guys like him don't hit free agency. There's a reason for it. So because of that, there's no price I wouldn't pay. If it's $800 million, if it's $850, it doesn't matter. It's a figure to me. What he represents is something bigger than the number of 700 or 750 or whatever it is. He represents change. He represents you being serious and you telling your fans, I'm not effing around anymore. Neither should you as a fan base. Don't accept mediocrity anymore. I just went out and spent $700+ million on a player that everybody says is one of the best, if not top 5 bats we've seen in the last 25 years. There's no price I won't pay to see the joy on my fan base's faces because it symbolizes change. That's what it is. So if you're an owner, that's the price that you're paying. You're paying for change. Boston needs it. The Mets need it. Dodgers don't need it, but I can understand why they're in it. Why not? And the Yankees need to tell their fan base, hey, yeah, we got to the World Series, but we too are looking for change to get back to the stability that we had in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Change. Juan Soto symbolizes change, and whoever lands him is going to be telling or sending that message to their fan base. More Juan Soto after the break. Things just got interesting tonight. What's the guy's name that's on the fan? Keith Mcpherson? Is that his name? Well, Keith Mcpherson had John Heyman on his show. And I think everybody is kind of on edge for whatever reason about this whole Juan Soto thing. You have Boston Red Sox fans. They've been going nuts. You go to the Mets message boards and people are upset, angry, and frustrated that, oh, my God, can he just sign already? Then you have people who are like, well, I don't even care anymore. I haven't been like that. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a passionate Mets fan, but I understand the business. Some people want to drag this out. He wants to make this a show. This has been the Juan Soto and Scott Boras show that the world is paying attention to. You have people that haven't paid attention to baseball in years are interested to see where Juan Soto goes. It's actually been good for the sport that we're talking about baseball in December. We're not talking about the NFL, which still is king. We're not talking about the NBA. We're talking about the winter meetings that aren't even here yet. Scott Boras deserves a medal. He does. But Keith Mcpherson figured that he'd have John Heyman on his show, which people have said that John Heyman is the mouthpiece of Scott Boras. But instead of him just getting the news, seeing what the latest is, Keith Mcpherson decided that he was going to try to make light of a very serious situation. And who's taking this seriously? This is sports. Could be your job. You want to cover it accurately. You want to give it the appropriate attention that it needs. But who's angry? Who's mad? Really? Who's really upset? I don't see anybody. But Keith Mcpherson thought that he would put some light comedy into a tense situation. Cue the clip, please.
Is because people believe everything I tweet. I've had 100,000 tweets, and you get one that was
As a matter of
wrong.
fact, no, we're not going to play that yet. Let's go ahead and play the first one.
Juan Soto. You knew that was going to come up. I saw your tweet that Juan Soto might come up, and that's the main thing. And when I look at your tweets and when I look at your history, I always say, okay, this guy's part of Boras Corp. What's the percentage of the Juan Soto contract that you're going to get when you break the news on where he signs?
No. Unfortunately, I get no money for anything. I have no financial stake
Not
in any of this.
Not even 0.01? A 0.01 would be a lot.
No, no stake. I don't know where you get that from. But,
So how does it work with Boras? Like I also mentioned earlier tonight, I'm like, he's not going to break the Juan Soto news. Scott Boras is West Coast based, and it's a 3-hour time difference, and it's Friday night, and 5 p.m. comes out there, and it's 8 p.m. out here, and he's probably like, hey, John, you're good. You're off the hook. Don't worry about it. We're not going to break this news tonight. You can go on, tell him about Clay Holmes.
There's a lot of competition for these stories. You never know who can get them. I mean, certainly, there are writers who are represented by agents. I am not. They may have advantages. There are all sorts of things at play here. We're all trying our best. I get some stories, won't get some others.
Now,
that's a part of the first clip. Now, I can see how a young Keith Mcpherson would want to make light, crack a joke about somebody's, the whole Juan Soto situation. But again, I will say, who's mad? Who's actually tense outside of the fan base? It's not the reporters or the insiders or commentators or analysts. We're all waiting with bated breath to see what happens. But Keith Mcpherson decided to take upon himself to ask somebody whose job it is to be as correct and accurate and trustworthy in the space if he's taking money from a Scott Boras for certain reports that he's dropping. Have you ever heard something so asinine in your life? Even if you thought it, why would you ask him? Keith Mcpherson is a very young guy. John Heyman is not. Right? So at that situation, we have a generational gap here, right? That's one problem, or part of the problem. Here's the other part of the problem, and John Heyman talks about it. So let's go ahead and play the clip.
I'm going to say appears, and I know I rushed it, and it was a big mistake, and I regret it. But 2 years later,
no regrets.
I think
it's like
at some point, I think someone could probably drop it if they're a nice person.
What I think is it just like how I introduced you. Everybody in baseball knows who you are. So one, it's a credit to your work, your following,
yeah,
and how.
By the way, I won't be going on with you again. The whole thing has been a disaster.
That's okay.
I can't even believe you said that to question my integrity.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm being serious. Yeah.
John,
asking me if I'm getting a cut because I have a relationship with an agent. That's outrageous. I know you're not a journalist. You don't know anything about this. I know you don't, but that's an outrageous comment. You should know that
it's
much.
Friday night at 8:30, John.
You should know that much.
And I am
I'm
not.
done with you.
I am not
I'm
taking
done with
this that
WFAN.
serious.
Goodbye,
John. Thank you for joining
I can't
us,
even
John.
believe it.
Thank you,
I can't
John.
even believe it.
Thank you, John.
The last part of that made me laugh. He was really upset. But here's the other part of it now. You heard what John Heyman said. And you heard Keith Mcpherson try to cop the plea and reverse it. Oh, John, everybody knows you. But here's the part where I understand where John Heyman's coming from. He might have didn't have to react that way, but I think somebody's going to react truthfully in the matter when it happens. John Heyman's reputation is on the line. John Heyman's credibility is on the line. John Heyman already had gone famous or infamous for his infamous tweet of Arson Judge is heading to the Giants. So people are already looking at John Heyman as a laughing stock. Is that they don't even look at John Heyman as the person to be breaking big stories anymore. It's Jeff Passan, right? Jeff Passan doesn't tweet it, we don't care. It's basically what the world says, or what the baseball community says. So for a guy like John Heyman that's been around forever, that's been connected forever, to have a kid like Keith McPherson poke fun at him saying that he's on the take when he's literally fighting for his credibility in his career and trying to hold on what he still has. You're damn right he's going to get mad. You're damn right he's going to feel offended. You're damn right he's going to get defensive. If you would have got the Aaron Judge story right, he doesn't react like this today. But the fact that there's been this growing conversation about how much credibility John Heyman still has left is why we're here. This is why in a situation, you don't make light of this situation because he's getting on TV, he's going on these shows, he's doing these reports because he is a credible reporter. And he takes it seriously. If there's anybody that should take anything seriously, it's the ones that are actually breaking the news to the public. So not guys like the Mick, not people that are on TikTok, not 12-year-olds. The actual people that have been in baseball for a very long time. Those are the people who you trust to be able to break the stories. And for a guy like Jon Heyman to be able to be on a show with a guy that there's a big generational gap, and now he has to feel defensive to answer some stupid question about him being on the take, could have been a joke, and I'm sure it was a joke, but he didn't take it that way. And why would you ever try to make a joke like that with a guy that's literally fighting for his career? Thoughts?
Obviously I would be upset too if I'm kind of like caught off guard. I'm going on this radio show to talk to you, and then you kind of disrespect me with just like a stupid comment. And I would, if I'm in that position as John, I'd be upset too and be like, I'm ending the call right here.
I don't fault him at all.
Yeah.
At all. Like, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Like I said, since that arson judge tweet, people have been poking fun of Jon Heyman, which means that his credibility is now in question. Of course he's going to get offended. Of course he's going to get defensive, like I said. So to try to make light of a situation that didn't need to be made light of, Keith McPherson has some work to do. We hope that the fan doesn't get all panicky and does something drastic, right? I don't think they would, but it's a teaching moment and a learning moment for him. But I would have reacted just like Jon Heyman. I'd have told him to go F himself on the radio. And you can pay the FCC bill, not me. It's just certain things you just shouldn't say. If you want to go ahead and say that on somebody's podcast while he's not on the show, fine. But to ask him that? Would you think he was going to give you an answer? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am. He could have did that. Been lighthearted about it. But when your credibility is on the line, it's not no time for play. That's all I'm saying. My prediction, this whole Juan Soto shit. There's days where I wake up and say, any day now, he's going to go back to the Yankees. There's even some times where I see some of my Boston Red Sox fans or friends feel so confident that he's like, man, it's going to happen. We're getting him. And I'm like, maybe. I don't know. But then there's other times where I say, this is an interesting moment in time. It's a snapshot. Steve Cohen bought the team for this moment. This is the moment that the Mets go from wherever they were to wherever they're going. I remember when the Dodgers, Magic Johnson and that group bought the team. The team was, obviously the Dodgers have a rich history, right? But you felt there was this switch that they are taking this seriously. And they will do everything in their power to be able to make sure they leave no doubt as to what their intentions are to build this organization the right way. That was the Dodgers' inflection point. This is the Mets' time right now. This is Steve Cohen's time to say, this is what I bought this team for. I've been watching this Juan Soto thing for a very long time. This is my chance. I'm not going to let it slip by playing these games. So yeah, there's other teams that are involved. But if I want this player, I'm going to put out a number that I know nobody will ever touch. And if he wants it, he can have it. And he will be a Met. If he doesn't, then cool. But I know that I gave him the Godfather offer that wasn't anywhere remotely close to the second option. So there's days where I believe that he'll be a Yankee. There's days that I believe that he'll be a Red Sox. There's never a day I actually thought he would be a Blue Jay ever. That's not going to happen. There's days where I even think, man, he might like the allure of LA. Who doesn't? But my gut keeps telling me, man, it's going to be a Met. He's going to be a Met. That's my prediction. May be a spoiler, but that's my prediction. I'm not the Mick. I'm not telling you that this is going to happen and they've already signed the contract. I'm not begging for your subscribers. I'm not begging for your streams. I'm not desperate. I'm making a prediction that I think that Juan Soto wants the big stage. Juan Soto wants the money. Juan Soto wants the endorsements and all the stuff that comes with it. But Juan Soto wants one thing over all of it. And that's to be the guy. To be able to say that he is the one that initiated change for a franchise that desperately needs it. If Juan Soto signs back with the Yankees, he's just another Yankee. If Juan Soto goes to Boston, it's very, very important. Listen, David Ortiz is one of the most famous baseball players of all time, but for Boston, he is Boston, right? Juan Soto can do that here for the Mets. If the Mets win a World Series with Juan Soto, he's not just another Met. He's not just another New York player. He's the king of New York. And that title will never leave him until the day he dies. That, outside of the money, is the most important part of this entire story. If you believe that you're the guy, and you believe that you're this game-changing figure, you need to make a game-changing switch and choose the place that needs it. They got the money, but they also need you. That's my prediction. Now it's time for my favorite segment. The greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask who is the Dummy of the Week? Silent Assassin, what do you got?
So, remember Hawk Tuah?
Yes.
So she had...
How can I forget?
He just launched a meme coin. And it says everyone apparently lost their money in it and they want to put her in prison. So, yeah.
Well, I'm not shocked. Listen, this is the thing about our society nowadays, right? Is that I don't know when it happened, but we are putting people that shouldn't belong in certain places in places that they shouldn't belong in.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Person like Hawk Tuah, what is her talent? I'm curious to know.
No. I really
why is she throwing out fucking first pitches in for Citi Field? Why? She can have a podcast, that's fine. Everybody has a fucking podcast. But what makes you think that you can now be an influencer to tell people where to put their fucking money?
Mm-hmm.
She had the nerve to try to sue the guy that did the video.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Yeah. It's crazy. Off of like one line, off of like a little street video, and then she's the greatest thing ever.
This is why we are the laughing stock around the world, because we allow people like this to infiltrate our society and make money. Doesn't shock me. It's funny. This, to me, reminds me of the Bangladesh schemes where they go ahead and they tell you that you owe Norton, you have a Norton account and they owe you money in a refund, and you go ahead and you let them, have access to your computer, and they rob you blind. It's stupid. There's something in the pit of your stomach that says, this doesn't sound right, but I guess. I have no investment information. I have no investment knowledge, but you know who I'm going to trust? Haktua. Really? I don't feel sorry for those people. I hope they never get their money back. I hope she goes all the way to the bank with it and cries plausible deniability. That's a thing. I didn't know. I thought I had sound investment. I had a sound investment team that gave me this thing, and I put it out there to my fan base, and I didn't know it would do this. Plausible deniability. And for her, she's going to be fine. But for the idiots that actually took their life savings or put their money into it because Haktua told you to, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm not scared to say it. I am not one of those people that want to, coddle you and tell you that it's all right. No. You're an idiot. And it's okay to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm better than that. I made a mistake. Yeah, I'm not that dumb. Or maybe you should look in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I am that stupid. And maybe I actually have to make some changes. If I think that Haktua is having my best investment interests at heart, you're a moron. And you deserve to be robbed blind. I hope she took everything. So Haktua can probably get this.
Dummy, yeah.
But the people that actually said that sounds like a good idea, they also get the
dummy, yeah.
So I don't care. Moving on. I have mine, and I actually have, it's not even, I'll save this for the PSA. My dummy of the week. You ready? May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for dummy of the week, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is my
dummy. Yeah.
Now, this is a guy got into the NFL, and he's been trouble ever since. He's hard to coach, all of these other things. But for me, it's like when the talent is there, teams are always going to give you an opportunity. Well, he's on the Baltimore Ravens now. He's on one of the most storied franchise out there, one of the best coaches in the league. And you tell John Harbaugh that you're not entering a football game? Why? Because you're mad that you're not getting the playing time that you want to get? That's not dictated by a player. That's dictated by the coach and the management, isn't it? So for him to take it upon himself to tell a coach that he's not entering the game tells me that he's not wrapped too tight upstairs, because you think that you can be able to be an asshole to people, be a jerk, not play hard, not do your job accurately, pout and frown and mope around like people are supposed to kiss your ass just because you have a little bit of talent. You know what ends up happening to players that have talent? They have the opportunity to be able to get to the next level. But guess what keeps that particular talent around long enough? Hard work. People that actually want to do the work, and they play amongst the team constructs, and they do what they have to do, and they don't act like petulant children. So I'm shocked that he's still on the team. Maybe he's not. Maybe I didn't see that part. He got suspended. But I can guarantee he's not going to be a part of this organization anymore. And I would hope that every other NFL team makes the same decision and they don't hire him either. Burger King is hiring, or maybe he needs to figure out the next phase of his life. Become a rapper like everybody else does. AB did it. Le'Veon Bell did it. Go ahead. Go see if you have a career there. Because you clearly don't want to play football. You clearly don't want to take the time and get better or be a better person. So be
Dummy, yeah.
Be a dummy. Nobody's going to miss you, Deontay Johnson. Talented guy, but a real dick. That's all I'm going to say about that. I do have a PSA. What the fuck is this golden bat rule? What is it?
It's like basically if you're gonna play beer pong. I don't know if everyone calls it this, but like a celebrity shot. Someone just steps in whenever and can take a swing. So apparently, a team has one chance per game to see if they want to put in their best hitter or whatever hitter they feel is right for the situation to go at bat. So.
Here's my PSA. If you work somewhere and you bust your ass to get there, bust your ass to stay there to be recognized, and then somebody comes along and gets hired, and you know that this person is a fucking idiot. You've seen them around, and they're now your boss. It's a very, very hard thing to accept. Some people tend to leave. Most people will accept it because obviously they can't just walk away from a job sometimes. But to see that idiot try to run that department is entertaining. And it's the same thing that I see in baseball. Rob Manfred is really dumb. I say it all the time. Like, I don't know. I'll probably be banned for life talking as poorly on Rob Manfred as I do, but I can't help it. He's an idiot. And for anybody in that committee, that competition committee that they have, to come up with some ping pong strategy to say, I got an idea, Rob. What about you can be able to use your best player in any situation you want to? What are we doing? How is that going to make baseball better?
Like me personally, all these like new rules I haven't been a fan of, but that one was just like I thought it was a troll.
Yeah.
Like what is
Thought
this?
somebody made it up and it's real. And then you have people like Stephen A. Smith talking about it's a good idea. Why am I not shocked that he thinks it's a good idea? You don't fucking know baseball. You can barely talk about the NFL, much less baseball. I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't even want to hear the commissioner's opinion. Because he doesn't know baseball. He thinks that the trophy is a piece of tin. Anybody who says that, I don't want to listen to anymore. He's an idiot. And for anybody to even take this seriously, and this is why it got shot down, because there's smart people in the room that says, this is not going to work. This is not going to be accepted by anybody. You can't even put this in a video game because they won't even write the code in to put that shit in there. It's just dumb. What happened to our game? Why can't he just step down now? Presidents get 4 years to prove themselves. How long does this guy get to prove himself? How long has he been there? As much as I used to complain about Bud Selig, bring him back. At least Bud was smart. This guy is not smart. He's the worst commissioner in all of sports. There's nobody that thinks Rob Manfred is a good commissioner. None. So that's my PSA. When you have somebody that's an idiot in charge, tell them. Tell them how dumb they are. Because maybe if they hear it more, they will actually believe it and maybe make somebody else take the reins and say, you know what, I'm just not fit for this job. They're right. I'm in way over my head. Tell them. Tell them how dumb they are. We need to start telling people that instead of being nice and being understanding and saying it's okay that you're this dumb or this okay that no. You're an idiot. You didn't figure it out. Golden bat rule. When would you even use this thing?
I don't know, I was seeing right when I saw it, when people were like potentially siding with the idea, they're like, "Oh, this could be a new strategy. Like, do you want to use it early in the game, kind of blow out the game early potentially, or use it later in the game?" I'm like,
this is not rock and jock.
Yeah,
it's just dumb. Listen, just leave the game the way it is. If you want to make marginal improvements, is fine. But when you start to make fun of the game and you start to really change the fabric of how we do things and how we watch the game and how the game is played, you're making a mockery of the sport. And I know he probably doesn't care because he doesn't know baseball and he just trying to see how we can be able to improve ratings. Real fans are not going to watch that. And casual fans are not going to watch that. So what master are you serving? So just say no. Say no to dumb ideas and say no to stupid people. That's my PSA. It's a good show. We there wasn't a lot, but we covered the important stuff. Juan Soto watch, important. We should have an answer within the next few days. Hopefully at 3 a.m. because it's like 1:30 right now. On a Saturday morning, let me get the story. Wake me up. Wake me up, Heyman. Wake me up, Jeff Passan. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that to say, hey, breaking news, 4:15 in the morning. Juan Soto signs 15 years. It was 7:45 with the New York Mets or 7:70, whatever it is. I'll be fine with it. Wake me up no matter what time it is. There's only a few people that can be able to wake me up, and I have no problem. My fiance, my son, Jeff Passan, and John Heyman. Those are the other people. That's it. So I'm predicting it. Mets get Juan Soto. That's my prediction. Till next week, if there's an emergency pod that we have to do, I don't know. Maybe. But until then, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.
My son is the champ, so get over it.